Howdy, fellow movie fans. Welcome back for another edition of the Wisco Movie Watchers Podcast, brought to you by those Davies Boys, which just happens to be us. As always, we're your hosts, Evan and Dylan Davies. What fine film are we talking about today, Dylan?
Spirited Away.
I thought it was time to get some
This
Ghibli in
is
here.
not an anniversary.
It technically is.
Okay, how?
So it's 2001 is the initial release. So it's 25th anniversary.
Oh, okay, so the Japanese release?
But the English release is the 2002.
Okay. Actually, immediately, which version did you watch?
Yeah, the English version.
Of course. Who's the
I hate
some of the voices
subtitles.
in it?
It's not the star-studded cast that a lot of Ghibli movies get now in the translations, because Spirited Away is kind of the first one that makes people go, "Oh shit, we should do this."
Yeah.
Let me look. I know Michael Chiklis is one of them. Oddly,
Okay.
it's a lot of like B, C, and dear T actors. It's not like a whole.
Here, I'll look it up right now.
Oh,
American
interesting.
cast.
Lilo's voice actor from Lilo and Stitch is the voice actor for Chihiro in this, and I did not know that. Thank you, Ash.
Jason Marsden?
Yes, no idea.
I don't know if he's related to James.
I think I've seen him in something that I would know him, but yes. But it's
really no one super. The mom from not the mom. The love interest in Dumb and Dumber.
Say Lauren Holly. I was about to say Lauren Holly's in this movie. Yeah. She voices the mom. Yeah.
Ratzenberger apparently is a voice.
What is he? Who is he voicing?
Assistant manager. That's all it says on.
Yeah, he barely does a voice because Ratzenberger's way too noticeable to not notice him enough, and I didn't. I didn't even notice him. So it's interesting, but it is a really fun, weird time to be doing Spirited Away, and then we are doing an anniversary edition, which is fun. I think that's the reason I initially said to do Spirited Away. Plus, I just wanted to do more Ghibli. I really just want an excuse to watch more Ghibli movies because I've only watched this and Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, I haven't seen that many of them either. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen this. I've seen Princess Mononoke. And that might be it. This is the only one I've seen multiple times, though.
I figured you may have watched The Boy and the Heron just because it got some Oscar pub.
I won Best Animated Feature, and I still have not seen it.
Yeah, it's certainly, that's one of the ones that always gets pulled when I go to the library. It gets put on the stack, but then I'm like, am I in the mood for this? Because I have to be in the mood to watch animation.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to strike when the iron is hot with
I've seen Grave of the Fireflies as well.
Okay.
That one's sad, though.
That doesn't mean it's bad.
My Neighbor Totoro as well.
I was going to say, I figured you would probably watch Totoro.
That's probably my favorite of them, honestly. And
I mean, that's on brand. It's on brand.
Although, okay, so getting into Spirited Away, this is like the true definition of what I would call a film made by a genius.
Interesting.
Where it feels like every single thing, there's no random choices made. Everything is thought out. Everything is very deliberate.
Yeah. It's just whether you understand that as an audience member or not is a different story.
Yes, because I'll be upfront and say, I really enjoy this movie, but do I understand everything? Hell no.
No. Like,
I know there's like a lot of like, is it Shinto?
It's Shinto Buddhist stuff, yeah.
Yeah, there's so much of that in this that I'm like, there's way deeper meanings that it's flying right over my head.
That's the other thing. I think what's interesting is this is a movie where this can't be I'm going to throw it on and try it. This has to be specifically for a non-Japanese audience or a non-Asian audience, just because there is there's not a ton. I don't want to blend a bunch of cultures and just blanket say they're all the same. They're not. But there is crossover between a lot of yokai or demon spirits or whatever the people want to call it. There is some foundational pieces that are in Chinese mythology and Japanese mythology and Shinto and all, like there are pieces that are very similar through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So an Asian audience that is used to those things, probably, even if they're not Japanese, would at least get this more than a Western audience specifically, right?
Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched Spirited Away, I fell asleep, but it wasn't out of disinterest. It was just, I really want to watch this. And then I just kind of, it was flying over my head and it allowed my brain to go, I think you can fall asleep. And I
Yeah.
immediately
I
went back to it
remember.
and I was like, no, this movie deserves my attention. I need to
Yeah.
watch it.
The first time I watched it was when I was really getting into film, which was like 16. And I remember just understanding absolutely none of it and just being like, this is some weird ass shit.
Yes.
And now, like, looking at it, it's like, there is a lot that still goes over my head, but then there are, like, very, very obvious it's symbolism and stuff like that, like greed, very, very throughout the movie,
Yes.
and over-consumerism and all that.
Yeah. Overconsumption, consumerism, greed. This is also the coming of age tale. This follows the hero's journey relatively well in
Mhm.
a really strange way. This is for people that have to do analysis or want to do analysis of a film, this is a wet dream
Oh,
because
yeah.
this writes itself. If you have
And that's
to, if you're in a film class right now in school and you get to pick the movie, pick
mhm.
Spirited Away because this is
Yes.
this writes itself. It is that simple and easy to understand from those
And
themes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying when I mean every choice is deliberate.
Right.
Like it doesn't seem like there's ever a part where it's just like, hey, let's throw in a joke here just because. Like everything feels like it has a meaning. And I watched a YouTube video, like I think it was like 18 minutes long, and I was like, holy fucking shit! There's a lot of shit that I had
Mm-hmm.
no clue about.
Yeah.
Just like literally, just stuff in the background will mean things that I never would have thought of.
It's very Alan Moore Watchmen, where every detail of every panel matters.
Hmm.
It's the similar fashion on film, where if you look through the background, you're like, why does it look that way? You're like, oh, it's trying to tell you something about this. And the thing is this, as someone who's had to do analysis before, both literary and film analysis, it's not inherently my favorite thing all the time to do because
No.
I just think it allows for the self-inflation of ego a lot.
Yes. Well, most things aren't totally deserving of it
Yeah,
because a lot of times things are just made for entertainment.
correct.
They're not made for like deeper meaning and stuff.
And that's where I get concerned about those things, which is why I always try to present, or when I speak to younger people that are going through classwork about it, sometimes I just say, sometimes it's okay to be the person in the room that just says, I don't think there's deeper meaning to this. And I don't see it, and here's why I don't see it. And if you can argue it, you're valid, you know?
Mm.
But there are times where there's a Spirited Away where you're like, wow, this is such a well crafted example of what this person was trying to say. And this is also, now having watched this 2 or 3 times, I enjoyed Spirited Away every time more and more I watch it because I pick up more and more of, whoa, okay, I get it. And I had
Yeah,
to
I
watch
will
this in 2
say,
parts to watch it just because of the schedule that I had. So,
after watching that video, I am more excited for another rewatch
really?
because yeah, because like I mean, they go into so much detail about like just like little statues that are in this shot, but they're not ever focused on.
Ah,
Like
okay.
those will have deeper meaning that some like Taoism or Shinto, and it's just like Yeah, I would have never known that had I not
Yeah.
watched that video. Um, and like it would have been easy to dismiss it as just like weird random stuff happening,
Yeah.
but that's not at all what it actually is.
I do say this film does run the risk of that with the wrong audience member. And I will say,
Yeah,
as audiences seem, keyword seem, to want a more simplistic telling of film.
yeah. This isn't made for people on their phone.
No, no. Because you're going to miss shit immediately.
Yeah,
I mean, I was just looking a few details up about the voice cast during the first 5 minutes, and immediately I was like, fuck, we're already here? Oh, shit. And I had to like go back and go, oh, fuck, okay. And write my notes again. It's just a movie that really deserves attention and time to be
hmm
appreciated. And it's a fun way to do it. To go to some notes, though, the color and the animation are impeccable. It is immediately hits you that, wow, this is different and it feels real
yeah.
good.
Yeah, this is also made at a time when Disney especially is starting to do computer animated stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is their like transition era because Pixar already was a thing for 7 years now.
Yeah.
And it's I'll say it's refreshing now to see hand-drawn stuff.
Oh, God. I miss hand drawn animation.
There's been a little bit more of a return to it lately. That's nice. But I do like that Studio Ghibli has been kind of steadfast in their way of making stuff.
I think it's the I don't want to give too much credit to ignorance because I don't know everything that's coming out of Japan. I don't want to say, oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
so Japanese for that to happen. But there is something very strange that a lot of the giants of industry from a Japanese perspective do hold fast to a couple of creative principles that they will not let go, both negatively and positive. Because I've been doing a lot of deep dives, especially for really snappy and all the gaming content I'm doing now. And I've been doing a lot of deep dives into gaming history that because I just really enjoy that topic. And it is wild. Nintendo does the same thing Ghibli does, where they're just like, no, we're not going to do that. Because our job, a lot of quotes from back in the day about Nintendo when they were switching graphical capabilities just due to technology. There's a lot of quotes from higher ups at Nintendo where like, we don't want realistic graphics. Our job is to heighten the game to unlock people's imagination to do something.
Yeah.
It's not to make it as real as it possibly can be. And it was just
Yeah.
something that I feel is in a similar vein where Ghibli just goes, no, this really tells our story the way we want to tell it. It's not our job to modernize everything to fit the
Yeah.
modern aesthetic. It's our job to unlock the imagination through what we do best.
Yeah. I think just on a basic level, I do think hand drawn does help a lot with more fantastical stuff.
I agree.
Like it feels way less um it feels weird to put like a perfect example would be like the genie.
Yeah.
If the genie from Aladdin was a computer animated thing,
Yeah.
it would feel a lot weirder to have him like constantly shifting forms. Whereas in hand drawn, it like somehow fits way better.
I agree. I think what it does is hand drawn is not perfect, but it's as close as we can get to perfection.
Yeah, and there's a very clear artistry
Yes.
and disconnect where it's like this is very clearly not real.
Right.
And I think that does help.
It helps a lot with the fantastic stuff. And that's why I wish we got more of it. I wish we got more of this, especially
Well,
out
I
of the
think
West.
we're starting to get to a point where I think it will make a resurgence. because Studio Ghibli has been successful and it's only growing, as well as anime. And then you have the biggest hit, well, one of the biggest hits of last year, K-pop Demon Hunters, was also drawn. It wasn't, well, it is computer animated, but traditional animation.
Right. I mean, I hope so. I want you to be right. This is not a scenario where I'm like, I think you're wrong. I want you to be right. I just
I would
don't
love
know.
for Disney to try again.
I just don't understand why Disney doesn't do what they were trying to do, because it gave them a distinct feel between Pixar, where this is a Disney movie, this is a Pixar movie,
Yeah,
but it kept things fresh. It kept things going to where you could go, okay.
it's very simple. It's very, it's a lot less work to make computer
Oh,
animated
absolutely.
stuff.
Oh, I know. I mean,
It's easier.
there's a reason that hand drawn animation, it was an answer for a technical problem, and that's why it started. But now we have better technology now, and we can do
Yeah,
things faster. Where, I mean, look at all the AI content that's making Pixar trailers and movies already by just someone typing in a prompt of saying, "I would like it." I saw a whole trailer composition of people doing like inappropriate, not safe for work, like joke trailers of Pixar
mhm.
animation that I thought was fucking hysterical, by the way. But it was clearly just like someone went, "Can you make a Pixar film trailer about X? Do." And I was floored because it looks
Yeah.
fantastic.
Maybe that is why people seem to be turning back to hand drawn. Is like it's very clearly an artist doing something.
Yeah,
Like you have proof of it being someone's work.
right.
Whereas, yeah, with computer animated stuff, I mean, AI probably eventually will just be able to do it very easily.
Unfortunately, yeah. Well,
But
I look at it. You can see it a lot in how much the underbelly of, and I don't mean underbelly in a negative connotation in this way, just kind of like the foundational pieces of the art scene. Everyone kind of accepts AI is coming, and they expect corporations and logos and things of that nature to commercial art. They expect that to be that. But when people go and are trying to find things for their home, or they're trying, a lot of people don't like that. They try to go find the hand drawn or the hand painted stuff, or at least prints of the handmade stuff, because it has that human quality that really brings the light to what they're doing. And I think it's just really fun. Or even if it's on Procreate and it's a digital creation, it's still something someone drew. And that's
mhm.
something I like. Like, not to pub my own work, but if you look at every logo we've made, I've made every one by hand. I might take pieces and stuff, but I've drawn or written every single one by hand. And
I
then,
do think it's funny that for, I don't know, 40 years or so, this everything in science fiction has been like, hey guys, let's not go towards this. And then all these tech people nowadays are just like, hey, what if we did that? What if we made that real?
I mean,
It's just like,
it's
it's so
human
funny
nature.
how
This is what we've
we
always
just
been.
completely forget.
This is what
Yeah.
humans have always been like. They've always done stuff. And then there are people that try to predict the future, rightly or wrongly, because there are people that are alarmist on shit where you're like, oh, it's the worst. But then there are people, rightfully so, I agree with you in this
I
context, that are trying to tell you, I don't know, man. And I agree.
I think anything with AI is a fair criticism
Yeah, I do
because
too.
it is at some point it does become technically unstoppable once it gets to a certain point.
Yeah.
But well, we'll just be little ants for them
Sidebar.
to
Sidebar.
control.
Maybe this could be a whole show. We'd have to think about it. Is what movie rendition of artificial intelligence is the best in terms of being an overlord? Like, which one are you like? If AI is gonna succeed in a
Yeah.
context, which one do I think is it gonna be?
Well, it's definitely not Terminator.
It's not Skynet.
Definitely not. That's probably the worst one, honestly.
It's just the most
But
famous one.
no, the world is a complete hellscape.
Yeah.
It's probably worse than the X-Men one. That one's pretty bad too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I just saw a headline about scient some scientists like they created some robot that is now able to mimic like mouth movements while it's speaking.
All right.
And I was like, oh, okay, another jump straight towards the apocalypse. That's what I think of every time I see a headline about AI. But I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're just jumping straight in.
Getting closer, I guess. I think what's going to be funny is
We're like the frog in the pot where it slowly starts to boil.
yeah. Couldn't I wish you were wrong, but
Who knows? Maybe I am.
yeah, it's one of those. This is one I
I
hope
tr-
you're wrong, but I can't argue it.
I trust people who are a lot smarter than me, and a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me say, yeah, we probably shouldn't do this.
Wait, you have this crazy idea where you listen to people that are experts in their field. You
Yeah,
don't
I
just say
listen
you
to
know shit.
scientists.
I know who'd have thought. That's crazy. Hey, in Madison
Hey,
and Dane County,
I
we
will
now
say,
have 2 measles outbreaks. And I'm
oh,
just like, did you fuckers not learn anything?
I will say though, if we put RFK Jr. in charge of everything, we're not going to be getting any AI
Yeah,
because that guy's a fucking idiot.
you want to know why? Because we're going to be an idiocracy eventually.
Like straight up, he is just dumb.
No,
Honestly,
he is.
like I'm not talking about his politics. I'm just saying as a person,
His personal
he's stupid.
intelligence. He's an idiot. Yeah. Oh, you mean bathing in sewage because of everything else? No, yeah.
Yeah,
Man's
I do
insane.
think it's kind of hilarious.
It's hilarious until you get to see that he's making decisions that are,
Yeah, that's true.
but he's making, the thing is, what people don't get is he's making decisions, and this administration is making decisions that don't just impact 3 years. They impact 30 years, 40 years, 100 years of stuff where there's going to be a whole generation of people that are going to look at this and go, well, I mean, the US government even said, I don't need these vaccines, so why should I get them? And it's like, motherfucker, that's how herd immunization works. We're all safer, and you get to do that because of the 100 people, 99 of all of us join the party. When only 50 of us join the party, guess what? It doesn't work.
Yeah, maybe I'll just be like one of those the precogs in Minority Report where they're just laying in that solution. I'll just be that, or like Matrix where they're just in that slop.
Oh, yeah.
That'll just be our future.
That'll just be our future. Do you take the blue pill or the red pill?
I can't remember which one's which,
Do
honestly.
you go into the matrix, or do you try to defeat the
I'm
matrix, or do you just accept that life is weird?
I'm just gonna go into the Matrix because they were able to like download a bunch of skills and stuff.
That
So that'd be cool.
is pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. Let's get back to Spirited Away though. And we talked about this really. We got on this topic because we were talking about the beauty of Spirited Away, of what they're doing.
So I do love that it's like a lot darker than most animation gets,
Yep.
but it still is kid friendly.
I mean, I think that's just the Japanese sensibility. I think that's just
I will say though, I would love to see Miyazaki make like a darker, something like truly dark, like a Del Toro type movie. I think it'd be rad.
oh, especially with some of the. I really enjoy looking at myths and legends and mythological creatures from different cultures. Shinto's really, really interesting to do that. And also, if you love Pokemon, you've been influenced by Shinto legend. If you've played any Japanese game, you've been influenced by Shinto culture and Japanese culture before. Even if it's just a stupid plumber in suspenders, you've seen shit from those myths and legends from from Mario. So it's a part of our Western culture now, whether people think it is or not. And it's a really interesting thing to see. And I agree with you. It'd be really fun if they made like a teen centric or adult centric animation. We're like, no, we're going dark. We're going to do it.
I would love to see Miyazaki's Pan's Labyrinth,
Yeah,
where it's like truly like kind of fucked up at times and dark.
absolutely.
I think he just has like such a great creative mind for it.
Well, he's getting up there though.
Oh yeah, I mean he was supposed to retire. I think it was in the early 2000s that he was talking about retiring.
and he just won't retire.
And I'm assuming it's because he just keeps having ideas and he's like, well, I have the means to do it.
Yeah. He is who he
I'll,
is.
I'll look
He's
it up.
outside of Spielberg, is he the most influential director? Because he has a whole thing to himself. He's kind of the kingpin of that.
Yeah, that's very art. I would say that's a fair point. Um, okay, so actually, he's announced his retirement multiple times. After Princess Mononoke, after Spirited Away, and after The Wind Rises.
Interesting.
So all like 7 to 10 year gaps where he's like, I'm retired, and he's like, I'm not retired. He's the Brett Favre of animation. He just can't leave the game behind him.
Well, the thing is, this is for a creator. Unless you're an artist who's physically doing it, long story short, he just won't die, and Studio Ghibli has the director succession problem. Fair. Very fair, Ash.
Yeah, that is probably another case where it's just like, we're really going to try to replace him? Probably not going to go well.
No. I mean, how do you replace that person? You don't. There's no replacing that person.
He's kind of like John Williams, where it's like, can people kind of emulate how good he is? Yeah, but it's just never quite. It's never quite his level.
That's another thing we should do is kind of go through and the one of ones. That'd be another, like the great figures of film.
The canons. The canon of film.
Yeah.
Where it's like, are these people canonized?
I think we've talked about this in the past, kind of doing like a Wisco Hall of Fame of film and just be like, these are the people that we think, and these are the films that we think. And I think it'd be really interesting to see who's like, since we're recording this during Hall of Fame, the Hall of Fame for the Pro Football Hall of Fame was just announced for the class of 2026. And like, there's a bunch of stories because people got snubbed that shouldn't have been snubbed because the voting's stupid. But
Niall Davis, he get in?
Nah. Niall Davis has never been considered for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But the big thing is, like, are they first ballot? Like, who are the first ballot Hall of Famers of film? Obviously, Hayao Miyazaki is a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
You just do is he in? Yeah, okay, move on. Because he's so good, you don't have to talk about it. You just do it.
Yeah, and I do feel like he's one of the people that, like, even people who kind of dismiss animation, they still say, like, yeah, he's a creative genius.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no arguing.
Well, that's exactly why we talked about this in the past when we do the random movie generator game shows. Both of us have said on multiple shows, it'd be really fun to see Miyazaki direct live action once, just to be like, what happens? Like, what happens if he does it?
Yeah, I don't want to see that simply because I know his creativity would be kind of wrangled in.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, at this point, you could do it probably with CGI, but I don't know if I want to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those, it's the great what if. What could be. Because, like, Spielberg has dabbled into animation at the very least, where he's partnered with people and done stuff. So it's kind of like, well, we've seen what a great live action director that has the unique voice can do in animation. Love to see the animation people. Or it's even just success stories like Brad Bird, does The Incredibles and then gets to do a bunch of other random stuff. You're like, this is really good shit. It's fun. And then he goes back to Incredibles. So it's a great proving ground to just show your creativity, which I really appreciate. Well, let's do some quick stuff here. What are some standout things about Spirited Away that just make it so special?
Um, the thing that's always stuck with me is the complexity of specifically the no face character.
Sure.
Because he's like so clearly monstrous, but then there's also like complexity to the character, which you usually don't get in children's media.
No.
And it does get truly dark at times, but I love it. Where he's like literally eating people.
Fantasy is dark. All the roots of fantasy that we like has dark
Yeah,
roots to it.
that's true. All the Brothers Grimm stuff is truly
Well, I
dark.
mean, look at Scandinavian Norse myth. Look at European myth throughout fucking all of Europe. Look at Japanese myth. Look at Aborigine myth. Look at Indian myth. Look at all myth across all platforms and all
Yeah.
cultures. It starts with some dark rooted shit because they were usually stories to teach you something. To be like, avoid that shit. Don't do that shit. This is really good. You want to know why? Because they avoided the bad shit. Like,
The other one that always stuck with me is the parents turning into the pigs.
that shit's nightmare fuel.
Exactly. It's like that's so dark and I love it. Because it's just like that truly could be scarring
Yeah.
if you never like if a kid was were to watch this and the parent never explained like the reason
Yeah.
or the meaning behind it, that could be a scarring thing.
Yeah, I was certainly watching that, so
It makes me think of like Pinocchio, where they're all turning into donkeys.
yeah.
Very, very tangentially related.
No, it's certainly something when you read about it, everyone kind of brings up. It was just like Pinocchio, but it's different. It's certainly
Oh,
something.
definitely.
It's always something I'm thinking about because of both my job and my career, I guess, and now having kids in our personal life that we see and now get to share media with our niece and nephew. That it's certainly something in which I was thinking the whole time. I was like, when is it? What's the age that I gotta wait to show them Spirited Away? Because they're kids that like it's no shade.
What would you say for that answer?
I think you gotta go minimum 10. And it's not because
I was thinking 8.
I think 8 can handle it. I don't think it's a thing that they can't handle it. It's more so, can they get it? I think a young kid
Fair.
watches it and kind of goes, "Oh, it's fantastical and fun," but doesn't get anything. Where I think a 10-year-old kid can watch it and start getting some of the ideas behind it of that kid way, and start to love it and appreciate it to be closer to, as they grow older, get more of the ideas behind them. That's kind of what I mean by
Yeah.
that.
I do like on a basic story level, the messaging of like literally it's just one little girl going from character to character and just helping them.
Yeah.
And that's truly why she's brave. Like it is kind of vignette in that way,
Oh yeah.
where it's just like she goes to one place, solves someone's problem, goes to another place, solves another problem.
Yep.
Like I do like that.
Well, it's her trials. It's the trials of Hercules. It's the coming of age of everything.
Yeah.
This is such a well done coming of age movie, and this is, like I said, analysis wet dream, where they literally go through the tunnel, and it's in an abandoned amusement park, and immediately it's just like the loss of innocence themes are slapping you in the face everywhere. Where you're like, oh well, it's time to become an adult. It's time for her to figure this out. And the thing that always saves her is she always stays innocent like a child. She grows up, she does different stuff to certainly get better and mature, but she never loses her innocence. And that's such a wonderful, like, it makes Chihiro not feel like a whiny kid. This is a girl you want
Yeah.
to root for. This is a girl that you have fond feelings for, and you love and respect and want to care for Chihiro in such a way that is so different from so much other media of a similar ilk because it's
Yeah.
so well
And
done.
she's also a lot more complicated than most like child characters.
Oh yeah.
Like way more complicated, which is nice.
Well, it's because kids are complicated.
Yes, they are.
It drives
We
me
just have
insane.
in Western media, we definitely have a tendency to just go, and it's just a kid. Like literally, as
Well,
we dismiss it as
I
that.
think we enjoy that because we've talked about this, the simplicity of kids. There is a simplicity to kids, but there's also
Yeah.
a complexity to kids that many people don't understand or master. Like what you know, we want simple, easy A to B solutions for kids. We don't want no, you got to go A to Z and you got to figure out every step along the way to make this better. And it's certainly something in working with kids. I don't want to come off as always, I know it better than anyone else. I don't. But I certainly have more experience doing it. There is no such thing as I told this kid this one thing and every problem I ever had with this kid and every problem this kid having has solved. It's a process
Hmm.
that they go, okay, when I explain it to younger people working in the field, I go, no, you're not looking to get from here to here. You're looking for to get, I need you to get A to B, which is this incremental change. Will they start talking to you or will they not do this or will they not do this that really hampers their growth and development? Okay, we've made that step. Don't focus on, well, they're so far away. Just focus on the step that they made to get better. Now let's add a second step to the staircase. Now let's add a third step and a fourth step and keep making it so they get to where they need to go, but focus on the steps they take along the way. Don't just focus on they're just so far away. They're just so far away. And Chihiro is constantly doing the steps, but then also gets to do the full journey. Where in the West, unfortunately, a lot of our media just goes, well, why don't they get it done? It's like because they're not fucking 33 and can just get yelled at saying it's not all about you. Shut the fuck up and mature. They're kids. It ain't that
Yeah,
complex.
that's a good word for what this is mature. I mean, you don't see it very often in a lot of children's media.
A lot of depiction of children. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I understand it.
I get it, but it's also a very clear representation of. This is another thing I brought it up on the show. I highly recommend people go watch the Orange Years. It's about the founding of Nickelodeon, but all about how all their shows are very kid centric founded. Of no, we're not going to show perfect kids or we're not going to show stereotypes of kids. We're just going to show kids, right? Which is why you were a Nickelodeon kid. You
Oh yeah,
you were a Nickelodeon kid all the way back to your Blues Clues day. By the way, one of these days we got to do your own rendition of Blues Clues. We got to find your kindergarten shirt. I'm not gonna lie.
definitely not.
I'm not gonna lie. I have thought about getting you an adult version of the Steve shirt.
Please don't. I won't wear it.
that's your
Not because
that's your history right
that.
there.
I don't wear polos.
You wouldn't even do it for the show for the love of the game.
No.
It's just attempted.
By the way, I don't understand this, but I somehow Spirited Away has a 96 on both critic and audience.
Wow.
I can't imagine 4% of people though giving it less than a 3 out of 5.
I
That's weird
can.
to me.
I can. But I
I
say
guess
that.
I could. Yes, I could if it's an unintelligent person.
Well, look at how many times we've looked at Rotten Tomatoes at bad movies that they were like, this sucks, and they have
That's
really good audience
yeah,
scores because those
that's
people are
fair.
looking for. Again, it's always our example or go to because we don't really like it. But how many people just like gush over Fast and the Furious? And Fast and the Furious is very simplistic. Car go fast, things went boom. Oh,
Yeah,
cool action. I love it.
yeah. In that sense, it does make sense.
So when you have an extremely complex thing that is very unfamiliar or it's filled with things that are very unfamiliar to a Western audience, it does not shock me that 4% of audience members don't like Spirited Away. Because these are people that probably made it 30 minutes into the movie and go, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, yeah, sometimes you like learn,
I
get
know
better
Roger
to get
Ebert
it.
loved it because I watched his review last night.
Who loved it?
Roger Ebert.
You
This
do.
was
You do love yourself
this
some
is
Roger Ebert, man.
I love Siskel and Ebert. I like looking at their old stuff. But this is when Siskel had died, and it was whatever fuckface replaced him. I
Ebert and
can't
Roper.
remember the guy.
Roper.
Roper. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You really don't like Roper.
I'm just joking. I don't care for him one way or the other.
It's just not the same. It's not the same as the old.
And the funny thing is, disagree with Siskel a lot. So I'm like,
But that's part of the thing about criticism, right? Like, look at. I mean, even look at our shorts when I do reviews. The big ones are always the ones where I give a negative review. It's never when I give a positive review. And it's always the big stuff, like when like the numbers that we got. And I'm not saying like we did crazy numbers in comparison to everything we do, but our larger number stuff is usually when we are negative about something people enjoy, or when we have a
yeah,
different take. Like when I did Wicked 2, and I just went, this movie's just straight up not good, and I explained it. You know, Ash is saying it right now. Algorithms love controversy and hate. Unfortunately, it's the truth. But like,
yeah. What's the thing
the
where it's
reason
like,
that's favored that is because we are looking for that.
yeah, it's people have to keep increasing their hot takes for it to trend.
Yeah.
That's like a very noticeable thing nowadays, and it's just like,
Well, I've even had to play
you
with it when I upload the videos and our thumbnails. You know, you got to attract eyes. So my take might be, I don't like this, but I don't like. It's a, I don't know, it's not my thing. It's that level for me. But I have to make the thumbnail sound out to be like, oh my god, this thing's terrible. Like it's the SpongeBob clip of, brother, this guy stinks. You have to do that level when really you're kind of like, whatever. Who cares? Like that's your usual
yeah,
level, but you have to like to do it and attract people. It's crazy, but like it's good that you listen to people who don't agree with you because but it fires the passion. If you do it the right way, it fires the passion. When people tell me like, "Oh, I really like that movie," and I'm vehemently against it, yes, do I have the lizard brain? I'm going to tell you how you're wrong. Of course I do. Of course I do. You know, jokingly, one of my friends at work is like, when she imitates me, the first thing she says is terrible take, bad take. Because I'll jokingly just be like, that's a terrible take, girl. That movie's terrible. I don't know how you can like it, right? But at the same time, it really does feel the passion of, no, I want to talk about these things and find common ground with people about film. I think that's something that's really beautiful about Spirited Away. I don't need to get everything about this. Because I wrote a bunch of notes, and then eventually I just wrote this. You come to realize while watching Spirited Away isn't something you necessarily intellectualize. You just are meant to feel it. This is not a movie where you intellectualize it and go, oh my God, like you should, because you get more of the themes, you get more of the messaging. That is intellectualizing the material. But this is more so stop thinking about it and just feel it and understand it and come to empathize with it. That's where it becomes so powerful. It's just feeling where
yeah.
everyone is.
Are there any parts that you don't like?
Mine are very nitpicky, very, very nitpicky. I just think
I My only problem with it is I don't like the baby character.
that's
And
fair.
that's probably simply because it's just tough to look at the whole time.
Yeah, I will say there are some things that I'm like, and I get it. It's not my choice. The what baby's a little tough. This is the only true negative thing that I do think is should be changed is I don't like that Zaniba and Yubaba are literally the exact same model. I
I think there's a reason for that I saw in that
No, there is a reason
video.
for that, and it's supposed to be like the yin and yang, and the two like you're the exact same but you're completely different kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just I think with this story being so powerful visually, one thing that could help in the coherence level is just changed the dress color or even the waistband with the bow on the back. So, you know, Yubaba's got the black one, Zeniba's got the white, or vice versa. I don't care which it is, but just give one or two visual cues to the audience of these are different beings. It's no like
Yeah,
there's a lot of material out there with Elseworld stuff or multiverse stuff, and the best thing you can do to differentiate characters is give a visual representation of how they're different. So if Yubaba's got the classic elegant blue dress, give Zeniba the light blue or green or just something fucking different. So you go, okay, well that's the good version, and move on. And I don't think that takes away from anything that they're trying to say, because they are so visually distinct facially. You know they're the same fucking person. So, or they're of the same. They're the flip side of the coin kind of thing. So just give us something to do that. But other than that, I don't really have a true criticism of this movie. It's so
yeah,
well crafted.
I would go so far as to say it is almost a perfect movie. But
Wow.
that being said, I don't love it. Like it's a movie I respect more than I like, I think.
I can understand that. I can
I could
understand.
see this being on my top 100 eventually, as I grow older, but I don't know.
Well,
Because I do like it every time. I like it more every time I see it.
yeah.
I will say though, the last time I saw it, I was high, and that was a good experience. It was better when I was high. Just because it does have a lot of stuff that makes you think.
Huh.
So
Yeah, no, it's certainly interesting. Yeah, Ash said she watched Nausicaa high, and that was amazing. Yeah, I understand. Of this ilk of film, being high for it could be quite the experience for some people to be enjoyable. I certainly understand that. This is not Labyrinth, where I liked my experience with Labyrinth, but I don't know if I like Labyrinth, but I really respect Labyrinth as a callback to last month's show. But I really, really enjoy Spirited Away, but do I enjoy it more than I respect it and am in awe of the craft? I'm not sure. And that's the thing is I've enjoyed every time I've watched Spirited Away because I get more of it. And I agree with you. Every time I watch this, it gets better. And it gets
yeah,
more enjoyable and I take more from it and it means more to me because I see more of the beauty of what it's trying to do. But yeah, is it my like favorite thing in the world? No. It's
yeah,
not of the two, and I will say of the two Ghibli movies that I've seen, it's not my favorite. But I also love Howl's Moving Castle. But Howl's Moving Castle is more of a westernized story of a traditional fantasy told through a Japanese lens. This is a Japanese fantasy and told through a Japanese lens. And that is a difference. Especially if you're, someone like me who's obsessed with Tolkien, which is the prototype for all Western fucking fantasy since,
yeah.
you know, since the inception of Tolkien's work. So I get it. I do understand that balancing act of what it is. Obviously, I assume you would highly recommend anyone watch this film.
Yeah, I definitely think I would even say it's worth a rewatch if you've already seen it.
I think it's worth multiple rewatches over time. Obviously, don't just go like,
Yeah, and I would also recommend looking up some kind of video breakdown because it really actually really makes you appreciate it even more. Where it's just like, wow, yeah, every single thing is thought out.
I would really be interested. We talked about possibly doing like a series of just kind of like film class for like almost like and obviously we're not trying to say like, oh, we're the authority so we can teach anything, but kind of doing a film class of like, no, this is things to watch for as an audience member or whatever. This is certainly something I would cover in a class setting.
Yeah.
Where I would do a, hey, like, if you're looking for themes, this is a foreign language film, and it's the first to ever break out to a Western audience to the point where they had to acknowledge how good it was. There was it was so good. Even the Academy Awards are like, we have to acknowledge this. It's that good. Mm-hmm. So you don't inherently even need the language to see the messaging it's trying to give you. This is where you should be looking at of what it is to do this. When you're looking at this character that you're trying to make endearing, how do you do that? Literally just go look at your hero and go, okay, she does this, she does this, she does this, she does this. Why is she doing it? Mm-hmm. And half the foundation is, it's the right thing to do. Okay. And you just keep going forward with that. So it's a very good piece to do that with. And I really enjoy that aspect of Spirited Away. It's such an interesting film. I don't know many other films that I would say are more interesting than Spirited Away.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I very, very rarely would give anything 9 out of 10.
Yes, you're stingy with your 9 out of 10s.
I would say this is probably a 9 out of 10. That being said, I still don't love it, which is weird.
But that's okay.
But yeah, it's also a very like melancholy movie.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the mood for that type of movie, it's not always gonna hit.
It's not light, bright happiness.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with kids' movies, you're used to light, bright happiness.
Yeah. And there's times for that, and there's times where I don't want that. So,
which is very, very fair. But this has been a really interesting one. This is just a different vibe. The Spirited Away just brings a different vibe, and it's fun because it even brings different conversation out, which I think is really fun and enjoyable to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation here with us, whether you're on Twitch or listening later on. If you want to join us later on Twitch tomorrow, are we still on for that tomorrow? For your Oscar tier list?
Possibly. It depends how much painting I get done.
Dylan has to do a paint project at his home because he's got a lot of stuff done. But we may be having our Saturday recording if you're on Twitch, and we're going to possibly do Dylan's Oscar tier list, breaking down every Best Picture winner. And we're up to how many Best Picture winners are there?
This is the 98th Academy Awards.
So we're almost
upcoming one.
Almost 100 movies will be ranked in terms of quality from Dylan's perspective.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's going to be a very fun special. It doesn't even count as a podcast episode. It's a new special for those Davies Boys channel. So if you're on Twitch, you can check us out live on that. If you're getting the recording, look for that show, obviously, because we are going to do that when time comes. Beyond that, give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow wherever you are. If you're interested in more of the Wisco Movie Watchers podcast, you can find it over at those Davies Boys on Spotify or YouTube right now. If you're going to stick with us on the Twitch audience because you want to see some more gaming content, go check out Really Snappy Gaming. And you can join myself playing all kinds of fun games. Currently, we're going through Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which definitely has some Spirited Away stuff in it. Because you're like, it's just kind of weird, but it's fun and dope.
Yeah.
And then also we're playing Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is the polar opposite. The solution to that problem is smash everything. And it's fun, let me tell you. So get ready for all those kinds of things as we're doing that as well. So check that out too. But we appreciate you guys watching, lurking, listening, wherever you are. Give us some love back if you can. Peace, love, and hugs to you all.
Bye.
Goodbye.